Hey guys, what's going on? It's Blake Ruffino from Are You Serious Sports. And this AYS Short is brought to you by the Drake Williams Law Firm, drakewilliamslawfirm.com. Whether you've been injured in an accident, you're preparing for a future with your estate planning, you're getting ready to close in on a real estate deal, or you're about to welcome a new addition through adoption into your family, or you're facing criminal charges, you need very experienced attorneys, and that is what the Drake Williams Law Firm will be able to do for you in navigating the legal system. The door to their cozy office in historic downtown Ponchatoula has been open since 1981. They have helped thousands and thousands of Louisiana families and individuals win cases, close on real estate deals, and regain that peace of mind. Their lawyers over at the Drake Williams Law Firm, Ernie Drake III, Ryan J. Williams, and Summer Vicnair, are very determined, compassionate, and dedicated to their craft. It's the Drake Williams Law Firm, drakewilliamslawfirm.com. Give them a call today at 985-386-7600. Tell them your good friend Blake Ruffino at AYS sent you on by.
You know how long, Mike, listen to me. You do know when we don't have you for a week, I get depressed. Let me tell you why. Because I want to hit this. And I can't. Like, I'm throwing ways out there. So, like Monday, okay? We were talking about defense. We're talking about your coach, your linebackers coach, Matt House.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about linebackers. And I was like, wait, you know, like I'm finding ways to hit the button.
Yeah.
But you're here, and I love it. First off, my brother, how are you? How are things going? You're looking great, man. How's everything coming from your way?
Man, everything's good. Been enjoying this little break from school and football, clearing my mind, getting my body ready to reset and get into this summer.
Well, Mike, look, I gotta ask you: did you get a haircut for summer because it's so hot outside? Like, so when Mike Jones goes to the barbershop, you're like, "Hey, man, boosie fade on the sides, and I want the top to stay." What is when Mike Jones goes to the barbershop? What does Mike Jones say to the barber?
This is the actual interesting thing. My barber here, and he actually just moved away like 2 weeks ago. I never told him what I want cut. I might say to point my sideburns and like maybe not go as thin on my mustache. But other than that, since the first time I met him, I never even told him what I wanted as a cut. He just got me right, and I don't even say nothing. I'll just say what's up, and we just chat it up. I never had to tell him what type of cut I want.
So listen, okay, I went to the first time I went to a real barbershop. You know, in the hood, I'm going in there, the teammates, okay? So I get lined up. I'm looking fresh. Prom's right around the corner. Okay, I'm like fresh and so clean. All right. So we get done with the haircut, and they put the alcohol in the back of my neck.
Yeah.
All my teammates stood up, and they're like, they were placing bets in the back if Blake was going to cry when the alcohol hit my neck.
No.
I didn't cry, but I got to tell you, I wanted to. Man, that stuff be hurting. But now you get used to it. You know it's coming. I'm going to get a line tomorrow. That's why I see it, you know. And so shout out to Big Sib. Shout out to the alcohol. But, man, somebody could have warned me, though, man. I mean, that stuff be hurting.
They ain't warned you. That's wrong.
No, they didn't prepare me, Mike. They didn't prepare me. Some BS, man. Some BS, but I love it. Look, Mike, I don't know how else to ask it, but we're 100 days away. You know, as one thing life has taught me is that before you know it, we're going to blink, and it's going to be here. Today you talked about how hard you were working, some things that you were doing. Mike, what are you doing? I know you're talking about the offseason, getting ready to go. I know a lot of the freshmen are reporting. What are you doing, and how are things going?
Yeah, man. Right now, man, it's just kind of about like building your own routine since you're not necessarily with the strength coaches right now. We start up next Monday or next week. And man, I've just been trying to get it in everywhere I can. I have learned at this age that you do have to get your rest. You know, I'm not the young, crazy guy who could go out there on the field without warming up at all and do it anymore. But, just working smarter, I find time to make sure I lift every day. a lot of condition, a lot of running, getting ready for Indy and all this stuff with Coach House, because I know he's gonna run the mess out of us. So I've been big on the running. I like approach the running as you got to try to run until you're about to throw up because you're gonna Coach
House. Look, we talked about this before, but Coach House just like looks mad. Like he looks like he's scheming. Like, like the who was the songs like "Stay Scheming." Like I see him on these recruiting visits. He's going elsewhere, and he's like, I don't trust a coach that doesn't smile with his teeth. Like I mean, like if they put defensive coordinator, like if there's a picture of defensive coordinator in the dictionary. Yeah. Wouldn't Coach Matt House's like face be the face? I mean, right?
Absolutely. Like, this guy's got something going on. He's just not telling us.
I'm gonna send Mike Jones Jr. on a damn blitz. Like that's how I envision him like scheming stuff up. Mike, we asked this to Chris Hilton. I look, I was an offensive guy. Like I grew up playing offense and. That's just the side of the ball that I know the best. How much do you go through the playbook and install, right? Like I know that y'all installed some stuff, and not to give anything away, but how much are you watching film and install and stuff like that? Because look, it's a new coaching staff. There's probably a lot that you want to install, but look, defenses can be a little bit different. I mean, look, there's only so many coverages you can run, many things you can do. How much in this offseason do you get in the playbook to figure things out of what Coach House wants?
I would say, there's different levels to it. I kind of feels like how like in tune you are with the defense that you're running. I would say like right now, I haven't really been too much into my film study, but I actually met with Coach House the other day, and he like gave me the plan of like how we're going to watch film throughout the summer. And so I'm just going, whenever I see we're going to watch film, I'll make sure I watch film before that, just so I can be ready. It's just kind of like you just want to keep a refresher. You don't want to, forget all the little details and things like that. I keep all my notes that I take during the spring. And so I've already started looking over my notes and things like that. But, just to stay sharp, not forget the little things. I feel like it's important to at least check it out a couple times a week, and just learn, keep checking out more and more stuff, as you continue to go out throughout the summer.
So you study before you go in there with Matt House to study, because look, that's some Tom Brady mentality type stuff there you got going on there, Mike Jones.
He asked that question, what this is. Mike Jones gonna know his answer. I promise you, I won't know mine. I gotta stay ready.
Hey, but look, Mike, I mean, that's great to hear, man. Yeah. I mean, like, that's great to hear. Let me ask you though, because when people say stuff like that, okay, it normally comes because I don't want to say you got your butt chewed, or anything, but normally it's because it's like, hey man, something happened, and that incident prepared you for this. Is there like a backstory to why you do that? Like, look, man, I know it's happened to me on the football field, but it was that something like that happened that wanted to get you that prepared, or was it just Clemson national championships? I mean, what was it?
Well, personally for me, I don't know why, man, when coaches get to asking questions in meetings, I automatically get nervous, and I'm like, oh, wait, if he asks this, I don't know this answer. I'm like, oh, so I'm already pretty anxious about it. But there's definitely been multiple times in my time at Clemson with Coach V where, I might have been a freshman, and I got Isaiah in front of me. He's not going to ask me anything. Of course not. And he asked me like the one thing that like, how am I supposed to know this? And so it's been multiple situations like that. And so now I'm like, I would rather just take a little extra time to get caught slipping. And I've had to learn. It's just multiple times for me to learn. And so now I'm just like, I don't even have to deal with the embarrassment of not knowing the simple stuff anymore. So I'm gonna just make sure I know it all.
You want to hear very, very quickly. I argued with my offensive line coach in a meeting in front of all the players before. Ooh. Because he told me that I was supposed to go and chip, and we're supposed to go to the backer.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, I'm not. And he goes, yes, you are. And I'm like, oh, no, I'm not. So we're about 5 minutes in here, and I learned after running a lot, you don't argue. So we did it in practice. Okay. Chip, go, get up to the second level linebacker. Our head coach chewed me out. I wasn't supposed to do that. So I'm just sitting there like this. You know?
Yeah.
I never ran at Southeastern ever again. So I got to admit, I was right, but I still ran. But I never argued again. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You know, like
you have to learn just it's not even worth it.
No, and look, man, I mean, you know how Italians are. We watch too many Rocky Balboa movies, you know, like we think that we could just, clap back and think nothing bad's going to happen to us. But nevertheless, Mike Jones, LSU starting middle linebacker, is our guest. Fire inside your questions. One from Lamar Williams. Big pressure is in the building. He says, #Ask Mike, Ford, Dodge, or Chevy?
If I had to choose, like one thing I want, when I go to the league and make a lot of money, I do want a big souped up truck. I'm from Tennessee and I might not be the countryest, but I need to have one just in the garage. And so I need me the big Ford F-150 raised up with the big tires and all the speakers on it.
What? I feel like I'm listening to the Stone Cold. What?
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's the vibe. That's one thing I for sure need. So I'm gonna go forward on that one.
Okay, I dig it. I envision you with like some cowboy Garth Brooks jeans with some cowboy boots, getting out at minicamp like your Vince Wilfork, like like I want to see Mike Jones get out at spring training with some cowboy boots. I like that though. I like that a lot.
Bob, it's a nice little switch up.
Well, look, man, people always want the fast cars and all this kind of stuff. It's nothing better than a nice truck, man.
Yeah.
Nothing better than a nice truck.
Just like seeing all the cars that are lower on the road, I'm like, I could run over you right now. Not like I don't be thinking that, but
you be playing too much Warzone, dog. You gotta calm down. Relax, bro. It's not that serious. Come on, then. Come on. All right, another one. Chance Babin says, #Ask Mike, have you met any of the new true freshmen that just arrived? Any thoughts on them?
Man, I've seen a lot of these guys in the weight room and on the turf and the indoor, these past few days. And, it's a lot of guys, and it takes me a little second to learn some names, but just seeing sorry about that. Just seeing the guys,
Mike, your audio. Hold on, we're gonna get Mike Jones back in just a second. Maybe it was Coach Matt House watching the show and he started calling Mike Jones. Maybe he was calling Mike Jones like, I'm listening to the podcast right now. Get to the film room. I hope we didn't get Mike in trouble. Look, man, I hope it's not Coach Matt House. I told you, the man be spooky. Following the brother on Twitter, like he watching. I know he is. All right. Anyway, you talking about names? This was the last week that we heard.
But yeah, man, I think it just speaks out to the mindset going behind all these guys we brought in. Man, they're they ready to go, man. These guys come in ready to come into college, man, trying to compete. And find time to get on the field early. You could tell when guys come in and they're already out doing the extra, doing the things that's not necessarily what you're told to do. I think that speaks a lot of volume into the guys they brought in and the character of those guys, man. So I'm excited to see these guys, see how they grow up throughout the summer, and see if any guys can come contribute when it's time to start playing.
Yeah, I mean, look, you got guys like Harold Perkins coming in. I mean, you got a lot of Sevyn Banks from Ohio State just came in. But let me tell you something. Chad Briscoe says Blake, he will I will run for Mike. Your ass is grass. You in so much trouble, dog. If you need me to run, it ain't happening. There's a reason I played at 292 my whole life. You're in so much trouble if that's the truth. All right, last one, Mike. We won't keep you long tonight. We know that you guys got a lot going on with everything about to start. But Brandon Reese So we asked Chris the other night.
I don't need. You don't even gotta say this one for me to know this answer.
Okay, all right. Who is
Jeray Jenkins? Jeray Jenkins might be one person who I've never heard shut up in practice.
Okay, what does Jeray be saying then?
Anything, everything. He just be talking.
All right. Do you say anything back to him, and can you share any of y'all's conversations on the field or not?
It's not, I mean, I don't even like look at it as like talking back to him. It's just like if he crossed my path, like while we're in practice, like maybe he's like jogging back after a play, I might just like push him or shove him for no reason. If I see him, it's just like the little funny banter, like just push him in the back of the helmet, just jokey stuff like that. But he is constantly talking, and I have to learn to turn that one off and just block him out.
Okay, I gotta tell you, Jeray Jenkins was the absolute last person on planet Earth that I thought that you were gonna say that talked smack.
Really? Okay. He's a funny, jokey guy. Jeray got the jokes, so he's out there running his mouth.
Okay. Since you said that, I could see that a little bit. So it's not like the bad trash talking. It's like the funny, ha-ha trash talking.
Like, okay. Cool, like, all right, now, okay.
Well, listen, I was told that Jay Ward last night. We were told that Jay Ward likes to yap a little bit. That's coming from the receiving room. Did Jay Ward be chirping a little bit or what?
Yes, he's another one that I have to block out so that I can communicate where I need to communicate.
Hey, Mike, like I envision you last night. Have you ever watched the movie The Anchorman with Will Ferrell?
Yeah.
So you remember after the fighting scene where they're all sitting there in the newsroom and they're like, Brick, where did you get a grenade? I envision you doing that with a defensive room, like, Jay, where did you come up with that? Like, I mean, how did you know that his mom's, was like I envision you saying that. I also envision you writing things down for when you get in the NFL. Jay Ward on 5/26/22. That's awesome. All right, Mike, we appreciate it, brother. You're always fantastic. Everything that you do. 100 days, man. 100 days until New Orleans, until Florida State. Well, let me back up. I lied. Is it personal for you to get back in the Superdome because the last time you were there, you was against LSU? So now you're going back. Is it a little bit of a vengeance? Not I wouldn't say vengeance game, but like, is it a milestone for you to get back there and make something right from the last time you were there?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And so actually the year after we lost to LSU, we lost to Ohio State in the first round of playoffs there also.
Oh, okay. My bad. Yeah.
So, I'm 0-2 in there, and I love the stadium, man. I love the way that the Jumbotron wraps around, man. It's probably my favorite stadium I've played in so far. And so, yeah, I'd like to win a game there, especially one with the home team. And so, that one's definitely going to be a very fun one for me. And I know my mind has been locked in on that one for a minute, and I can't wait to win a game down there.
Listen, I've been in Death Valley a lot, and I look like Garth Brooks type of loud. Death Valley gets loud. There's not a lot of loud though, Mike, than what you experience in the Superdome from LSU perspective. And you've been there. I mean, look,
I'll never forget that game.
Look, man, I'm still deaf in my left ear. That's why I keep having to do this. I mean, my sister-in-law, man, God, dog, she can yell. Like Jamar Chase. I mean, I blame him on her and Jamar. Stop catching passes and touchdowns. God, All right, Mike. We'll see you next week, brother. You have a good weekend. Have a good holiday.